Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the final game of the day. It is Copenhagen Flames versus Celestial Gaming to see who secures that first win for themselves of this season. We just got off a bit of a statement game from Copenhagen Flames, where they played around, baiting out Celestial and forcing them into uncomfortable positions. And in the game previously, Celestial Game just ran away with it and caused an insurmountable goal lead. As we head into Game 3, it is all up in the air. Which Celestial Gaming are we going to get? How is the coin going to land when we flip it? Sang, how do you think Pick and Ban's going to play out?
All right, thank you so much for that introduction. I believe that Eden Fox will not be able to play Aatrox this time around. Neither will Nihus. I expect Celestial Gaming to get that one off of the table instantly because they have already shown that they have struggled quite a lot to play versus that champion. And I really got to say that Copenhagen Flames showed up in game two. They showed really what they're capable of and made it look so much more difficult for Celestial Gaming than it was in game one.
Always the top contender, never first, and Copenhagen Flames want to break that habit with an early start, an early good start in the summer season here. And we are heading into Champs Elite right away, and there is that Nico taken away. All of these flex picks removed early on, which hurts me. I adore seeing flex picks. Sign. It just makes pick and ban so exciting. But then again, we don't need flex picks for Celestial Gaming and Copenhagen Flames to make pick and bans exciting, do we?
No, definitely not. They're making everything exciting no matter what they're playing. But yes, I do enjoy these flex picks. That is something that, for a reason, is banned here between these two teams, as these teams are trying to outmaneuver each other already in the pick and ban phase of the game. It's so important for them to get these good team compositions, as these key champions like the Lux, like the Aatrox, have really been the main winning condition for these two teams. You see the Lux S-Ban not going to be able to pick that one up as the first pick for Celestial Gaming.
Yeah, looks taken away. It's been a key pick for both teams, actually. The winning team has always had that looks on the shields. The AoE shield across the entire team has played such a big part in the success of the wins of this matchup here. But that's an insta-lock Jace. Most likely in the top side, could be mid lane. And there is that Aatrox. We get to see it again. A repeat Copenhagen Flames Eden Fox Aatrox performance with a Zaya. Also, there is Celestial Gaming going to take that recon. I don't know, man. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a really good start here in the first rotation for Copenhagen Flames, going with the Aatrox, getting that power pick back on either Eden Fox or Nihus. And also with the Saya, you're saying that you're going to have to pick the Rakan or we're going to get it in this first rotation. No problem at all for us. And even if you get it, it's not an issue for us, really. But Celestial Gaming not going to take the bait, instead going with the Morgana, saying we're fine with the Saya Rakan bot lane. If you want to run it, we will be able to just counter pick into it instead. So a little bit of mind gaming going on here on both sides.
Yeah, and the early Morgana pick also telegraphs perhaps denying it as a counter pick for some crucial single target CC like an Ashe ultimate. There's so much synergy between Morgana and Ashe. There's the Rakan that we mentioned also. There's so much synergy between this bot lane and support, this ADC and support pick with the volley and the auto attacks slowing to help Eski secure that Morgana binding, and obviously when that Morgana binding lands, there's so much follow-up with ultimates aplenty from both Lil Ambivert and Eski with that Ashe ultimate and Morgana ultimate. The chain CC is going to be real, man. How much will Kalhira even be able to peel with those Rakan shields? I'm not sure they'd be able to truly handle this.
I'm not quite sure, but at the same time, the mobility of the Rakan, and once you have ultimate on your Ashe, you should have an ultimate on the Saya as well, so you can neglect that simply by getting untargetable with Saya, or if you target the Rakan, you can always just use your E to dash away. So it's going to be a little bit difficult. Also with the Morgana, with the binding, of course you can catch someone with it, but as soon as you don't have it, then you only have your black shield to defend you from the engage from the Rakan, and that's also quite scary if you're caught at the same time. If you get that perfect W off only Rakan, you can only Black Shield one of you. So who is that going to be, and how will you be able to handle it? So I do like to see the little swap up here for SK and little ambivert going with these champions, but at the same time, Syra Khan such a strong bot lane. I do worry about this still.
Yeah, it's the snowball story once again. The Zyra-Khan combination extremely snowballing if you manage to get that one going, and with a Jarvan to assist you, there's so much setup. The Cataclysm, the Grand Entrance with quickness, the AoE CC that's available for Coupling and Flames will surely aid them in trying to take control of this game early. But the games have been so one-sided that literally early game seems to matter so much in these matches, because once the team gets the lead, they don't let go of it at all. And there's the Gragas in response also.
Absolutely. And Gooby looked almost unstoppable on his Sire last game. He got so far ahead together with help of Kalhira on the Lux. And this time around, we're seeing Zandia going with the Vladimir for the mid lane instead. And you will see the Gragas was the jungle for Dakrak. So a bit of a swap up here, as Dakrak did play Jarvan last game. Didn't work out that well for him, and we'll see if he'll be able to do more on this Gragas this time around, and if he also will go with the big bursty Gragas, AP Gragas Sonias that Young managed to get so many picks off in game 2. Now, the final pick here for Copenhagen Flames will be the Rumble.
They're tunneling hard on the AoE damage and CC here, aren't they? Looking
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
fight hard around neutral objectives, perhaps not going too hard with the siege. Hang on.
So this could either be the Vladimir middling for Zondia or the Jace, and it depends a little bit on how you want to play this, but I believe Jace into an Aatrox should be able to handle it, get the poke off quite well. And the Rumble into the Vladimir, well, both scale quite well with level and in the late stages, the Vladimir is going to have more damage, but Rumble, of course, having the extra utility of having such a long range on his ultimate, and together with the Cataclysm, with the quickness, is going to be able to make quick mincemeat of anyone they catch.
For sure. And I don't know. I think the solo lanes coming in from Copenhagen Flames are gonna have a really rough time against Jace and Vladimir early on. Vladimir is gonna have a free scaling game, a free ticket to the mid stages of this final game in the best of three match, laning against Rumble, who can't really. I mean, Rumble struggles against ranged quite a bit, especially something that can sustain your roaster of a fire spitting machine, um, and also the Aatrox into Jace. Zandia will be able to manhandle this matchup for quite some time, and I hope. You mentioned the Gragas. I hope that Dakrak goes for a more Cinderhulk based build here, because their composition is already overloaded with damage.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be very squishy no matter what they go, as Gragas never gets that tanky either way. But absolutely, I gotta say, though, that Rumble up top lane, what you want to do versus the Vladimir for the trades is, of course, you want to have something like a shield to stop him from getting a beneficial trade on top of you, and then he can just sit on top of him with his flame spitter, and also push in the wave better than a Vladimir can in the early level. So should be able to get the level advantage in the early game, I believe. But yeah, absolutely. Zondia versus Eden Fox yet again on this Jace versus the Aatrox. Another time around, Eden Fox was a monster on Aatrox in game 2.
And here we see the teams adapting on the fly here. The Aatrox exists, so what do you throw
Oh,
into it?
here we go. Binding not going to hit anything though,
Binding
as
misses.
Eski misinterprets the situation there. Dekrek jumps in with the body slam, but the binding was aimed where Jung was sitting before the body slam hit him. So a little bit of a misplay there from Eski and Dakrik.
Yeah, slight uncharacteristic missynergy there. Have to take into consideration the slight knockback, as you said. Perhaps losing out on a first blood there. I mean, if Eden Fox goes down early and they secure a kill for Zandia, that would be heavily favored, and Eden Fox would not be the 1v2ing monster that he was in the previous game.
Yeah, they absolutely want to shut down Eden Fox if they can, but I think it's going to be quite difficult in this situation as Zondia can't really set up any ganks in the mid lane. It's just going to be a farm party. Eski goes with the Dark Binding, lands it on Kalhira. A good trade down the bot lane. Top lane, as we talked about earlier, Rumble pushing it up versus Coolberg takes a little bit of damage on the early stages before he can get that blood transfusion up in levels.
So Rumble does have that push priority, but I mean, the more you push, the more susceptible you become to Dakrek's Gragas pressure. So I think he might want to chill a little bit, right? He has warded his own Tri-Brush, which I think is intelligent, because if Dakrek finds that reach round, yes, he's not there right now, but we're talking in a theoretical future situation. If Nichirus pushes in, Dakrek goes through the Tri-Brush and reaches around, then Nichirus is in a lot of trouble. The fact that Nichirus is red side plays a big importance here. Well, bot side.
Big gang coming up bot lane. Jung jumps in, gonna force the flashes. Eski chasing this one down, does not have binding just yet, and Jung gets away with the ignite ticking on him. Still gonna be happy with that, forcing 2 flashes and the ignite bot lane.
And Young just waltzes out of it. Happy to force 2 flashes here. Mid lane fight. Nothing comes out of it. Yeah, gonna be super happy forcing 2 flashes. Can just go for a repeat, a reach round once again. You see him still hovering there, but meanwhile, cross map plays are the name of the game here. And Dakrek, as I talked about earlier, is hovering top, has the HP to play around with a potential pushing Nichirus, but he seems to be aware of the situation. His ward has since expired though.
And Nishus has one ward to make sure that he doesn't get dove or anything like that, is allowing Coolberg to push him, just keeping the wave just around his turret, so no real ganking potential up top lane there. It's going to be an island, just using his Flame Spitter to force Coolberg to back off those minions, still losing out quite a bit in those trades, so he has fallen behind in minions himself in this extended trade, and both of them have used their potions.
An island indeed, and none of the junglers appear to be building a bridge from the mainland. Instead, the focus does appear to be on the bot side. Dakrek moving in to steal away those Krugs. Look at the farm difference of these junglers. Nishu is finally pushing in, and we're starting to see the intricacies of this lane. Rumble cannot help. If either he denies himself CS or he pushes the lane. We're starting to see this interaction come into play. Dakrek is farming like a monster, and here is that topside fight. Song, take it away.
Yeah, a good bait there coming up by Coolberg is going to make Dakrek look easy to chase down Nihus. Nihus trying to flash over the wall, just barely getting away, and he's going to survive just barely, but the flash available for Coolberg means that Nihus will have to play much more carefully up here.
I mean, well mid side.
Oh, mid lane, Zondia overestimating his damage, and the flash forward means the kill and first blood for Eden Fox. Together with all of those minions pushing in under the turret, Sandia is falling way behind now.
We talked so much about the teams adapting and Celestial Gaming rocking that Jace to deny Eden Fox a free lane or a snowball, and what happens? Eden Fox slaps him with an auto attack and takes them down. Now he's comfortably sitting on a fairly decent back there. Gets an entire phage. Yes, there's some lethality coming in from Zandia also, but the HP and the damage will give him a healthier laning phase. Top side, actually bot side, there's some action going on also. And that the fact that Ocean Dragon is the first dragon of the game will also play a large part in how the teams choose to focus. I mean, with the 30 CS lead down bot lane, the Zyra Rakan is stealing the show down in the bot side, and surely with this massive amount of priority that Copenhagen Flames are establishing, they will be able to transition that into Dragon soon.
Yeah, a bit of a problem down here for Celestial Gaming's bot lane, as they decided to go with this combination into the Sayarakan. They knew it was going to happen, and they are not making it work at all. Falling behind so badly in CS right now means that it's going to be so much more difficult for their team to secure the dragon early. It's going to make it much more difficult for Young to find anywhere that he can gank at this point, or rather, sorry, for Dekrick, and where he can gank right now. It's a little bit of a difficult situation here for Celestial Gaming. In the mid lane, Zondia still going toe-to-toe here versus the Aatrox. Even though he gave away first blood, still strong on this Jace. Baiting this for Dakrick now, and Dakrick just jumping in, gonna take that one last hit and then back off again.
Yeah, these repeated attempts, there are pings coming in mid-side though. They're trying to set something up. As Dakrick moves away, Young steps into his shoes and tries to sort of stick his feet into the water, testing the temperature, and is looking to try something here, but he's straight up not in position. Like, doesn't have Cataclysm available either. Instead, perhaps they should be trying to transition into, meanwhile mid lane, dude.
Zondia losing the 1 versus 1. Eden Fox chasing him down under the turret. One more auto attack should do the job. Eden Fox just barely not being able to do it.
Oh, you hate to
surviving
see
that.
You hate
one
to
auto
see
attack.
it, man. Yeah, one auto attack is all it took, or it would have taken, and Eden Fox instead overcommits, runs it down straight up. It doesn't matter that his jungler is waiting in the wings when he's way under turret. Top.
Kulberg taking a lot of damage, using the Hemo Plague just to take a little bit of a better trade right there, but Nihus still has his ultimate up. Kulberg has the Sanguine Pool. It's going to hold on to it forever, waiting for the ultimate to come out of Nihus. There it lands and uses the Sanguine Pool immediately to get away. Nihus still doesn't have Flash, will not be able to pick up the kill, but Kulberg is taking so much damage.
Here comes Dakrick.
Dakrick is here. There is no way Nihus can survive this. Dakrick can do whatever he wants with this. Kulberg coming up, gets the blood transfusion off, and that's the kill.
Doesn't matter which blood type you are, because Vladimir is a universal recipient and will gladly accept your donation. Comfortably received with the assistance of Dakrick there, but at the same time, of the cross maps plays, we mentioned this once again. Copenhagen Flames are focusing down at that Ocean Dragon, which should assist them through a healthy laning phase and will make that bot lane even more oppressive, because any trades that you do engage in with Lil Ambivert and Eski will be healed right back up. Yes, you have some healing coming in from the Recon queue, and the Ocean Dragon will play into that and amplify it even further with that passive region out of combat. So it's looking rough for Eski and Ambivert, but you could also argue that they're not really playing around being the biggest carries and going more utility. Mid lane.
Quickness focus on main lane, getting Zondia, a little bit CC, but not having the damage to follow it up. Still gonna make it more difficult for Zondia to play this lane the way that he wants to, as Kalhira does not have ability boots yet, but still roaming the map, now rotating in top lane.
There's a multi-man focus there around Rift Herald. Assistance pings coming in from Celestial Gaming, and they're focusing top. Gooby, perhaps. Oh, flash forward.
Doing the big play right here, using flash aggressively, now going golden, waiting for Jung to arrive and sustain him. Together with his Dakrick being ignited, going down. Kulberg stuck in between a rock and a hard place, trying to chase under this turret. Can he get one more attack off? Not going to happen, and just not in time to have that blood transfusion means that Copenhagen Flames has this free top lane and the free Shelly to go for it.
Kulberg says to Eden Fox, hey, you are not the only one who can run it down onto a turret. Yes, Kulberg didn't have many options available to him there, with all hell closing in around him. That will mean the Rift Herald for Copenhagen Flames now, and turret plates are still available. Not a single one has been taken on the map. The Rift Herald is used, however, for the Empowered Recall for Young, and is repositioning perhaps for a bot lane siege to amplify the bot lane advantage even further, as we see almost an Essence recompletion for Gooby.
Yeah, look at Gooby and Kalhira now. They're rotating again, going down bot lane. allowing Lambivert and Eski to do whatever they want top lane. There are no objectives anymore to go for up here. And oh, the good equalizer is going to deny the minion wave, as well as Nihus is just waiting for the rest of his team to set up the bot lane and get those plates and the extra gold on Gooby. This is huge for them right now.
Yes, I adore that decision to use the Rumble ultimate to clear out the way, but denies any form of response for Celestial. River?
Oh, Eden Fox. He's going to bait again and just force the enemy team to chase him around. This time, though, there's no one there to help him. You could see Kalhira and Young start moving towards him, but he caught out way too quickly. And down bot lane, those were two solo gold plates going to Gooby.
That's not something that you're gonna deny when it's gifted to you on a silver platter. The gold plates, the two first ones of the game for Copenhagen Flames are there. And as we said, no real response available for Celestial Gaming with that equalizer being dropped. But they are trying to force still, sending Eski up there to assist Lil Ambivert in the 1v1, making it a 1v2 versus Nishiri's, and Kulberg now laning against Gooby, just trying to hold the turret as best as he can while his bot lane sieges top. But watch Young. Young is waiting in the wings. There is some ward control, however, that Eski's managed to establish, so they should be able to disengage if Young tries any funny business.
So Young has also decided to go with the Cinder Hulk tanky Jarvan, making sure that his team has a strong front line to defend the rest of his teammates. Here comes the quickness by Kalhira. Is going to first wait for the Sanguine Pool and an easy pickup for Copenhagen Flames, making it look like a scripted situation down that bot lane. Another equalizer up top lane also going to stop that push from happening, and this is Copenhagen Flames getting all they want on this map.
Sending the Vladimir into laning against the Xayah is, I mean, it's a difficult decision to make, I suppose, when you're trying to brute force that top turret or that the top plates for your Ashe. Having Vladimir solo defend against Xayah means, with no other teammates around, obviously means that if Xayah gets some sort of assistance, like with a long-range shield from Kalhira into quickness, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough to even get out of the situation. Pull is not enough, and you're left with a gray screen and a dead turret, as well as a second Ocean Dragon for Copenhagen Flames as it stands. Dakar, however, is looking for something. They can't quite find it. Second Ocean Dragon for Copenhagen Flames now.
The siege potential for Copenhagen Flames is starting to stack up right now, as they've gotten two Ocean Dragons. They have a very strong marksman in Gooby's hands. They got on the extra gold lead bot lane, and they're just denying everything for Celestial Gaming. And I feel like Celestial Gaming had sort of a game plan looking at this Ashe and Morgana combination. They prioritized it over denying the Rakan. They really wanted to have this. They lost the lane, then they rotate up top lane to try to force down that turret, but never uses the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. They never use the combination that it has, the potential that it has, together with the Dark Binding to try to make something happen. Instead, they use farm, and they allow the first turret blood to go into the hands of Gooby, and also allowing Nihus to simply farm up, get his core items, and rumble on this Leander's Torment, together with what I expect to be the Sorcerer's boost very soon, and also probably some more magic penetration. Is going to be so strong. Also, a beautiful flag and drag combination is going to get Young out of that sticky situation.
And even further, Lil Ambivert's Ashe is gonna face further hardship as these equalizers start landing on top of him instead of on top of minions. Putting equalizer on an immobile target is quite oppressive, since the slow is extremely potent. You focus on the damage and the ticks, right? But the slow is very real, and yes, that's going to be an issue. But at the same time, disregarding that and disregarding perhaps the long-range engage tools by Young and Kalhira, theoretically, with the volleys and with the slows, you can keep these melee carriers at bay. Eden Fox and Nishiri's will not be able to get to Celestial Gaming without seemingly breaking their own backs in attempting to do so, with this Ash permanently slowing them. There's Gragas casks, there's Morgana bindings, there's movement speed from accelerating gate from the Jace also, but Jace is most likely going to be split pushing. But the volleys and the slows from the Lambiverts, they're going to come online as soon as we start seeing more grouping.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. It's going to be difficult. I mean, Kalhira needs to find the flank to get in with the quickness and then immediately follow up with Jung and the Cataclysm. And that will catch most of the team members of Celestial Gaming completely inside of that little barrier that he sets up. Now bot lane, little fight comes in, Ignite being used up top lane as well. Here comes Jung jumping in, does not have the damage to follow it up with Dakric going golden. It's going to stay alive for Jung to die from the Hemoplague. It looks like just barely getting out of there as Dakric still alive for this. Eden Fox finally comes in, has used his ultimate, going to pop it. He's going to stay inside this bush, but with complete vision, it looks like the Lambert will be able to pick this one up. The Lambert has almost no damage though. Look at Eden Fox just going to town, finally going down. Kulberg also running away from this. Kubi finally getting that kill, and that's a 2-for-2 situation between these two teams.
What a bloody series of events, I have to say. Wait, meanwhile, bot side, Zandia versus Nishui is the equalizer is dropped. They miss each other with their skill shots. I have to say, Dakric played that so well. Taking one guy with him, like I don't know. The fact that he survived for such a long time and managed to apply so much damage, flashing away to force Eden Fox to chase and essentially sacrificing his own life in doing so. I mean, it made Celestial Gaming gain way more than they should have actually gotten. This could have very well been a 2-for-1 in favor of Copenhagen Flames, but with that Dakric explosive cask and just tossing barrels all over the place and flashing away and forcing Eden Fox to chase, forced that 2-for-2. So brilliantly executed there for sure. Now the teams start to set up around that dragon, and one thing that I have to commend these teams on, specifically Copenhagen Flames and Celestial Gaming, is that their ward control has been superb. They move out their wards, they establish it, they try to play around denying the enemy team from clearing it out, and once they've established an area, they keep on defending it until they no longer need it, whereas they move on to establish it into a different point of focus. Mid-lag, they say. Another pause.
Yeah, a little bit of a pause here, but you take up a good point right there that these teams, when you play on this level, they know exactly what kind of objectives they want to play around and they set up for it. So they're using these words, and sometimes just getting the word control is what starts the fights, right? You want to set down the words in a position where you force the enemy team to come and clear it or be denied the objective. But while they're clearing it, you can also set up the immediate area around it to go in for a sneaky engage that they sort of need to handle, because if they don't, they're just going to lose the objective anyway. Zandia now being chased bot lane. Is able to run away, turning this around. Almost. Jung is there. Get knocked into the wall. It's tanky, but is it tanky enough? Gonna take the Hemoplague, taking a lot of damage, but Shields coming in to save him. Kulberg still on front, trying to get Gooby. Gooby was pinged earlier by Lil Ambivert, has a 300 shutdown gold bounty on him. This is a real priority target, also taking some damage from the shock loss from Zandia. Now setting up for this third Ocean Dragon.
Yeah, they really, truly want to deny that third Ocean Dragon from Copenhagen Flames. Meanwhile, Nishuiz gets caught out, drops down the equalizer, but can't find enough damage. I don't know, man. The fact, the fact that Kulberg forced a proactive play with that teleport sets him at a TP disadvantage. Nishuiz will have a big engage though.
Oh, they still want to fight this, and they get little Ambivert. Dragon is still up, but no one really cares about it. This is all about the fight. Finally, CG managed to get it, but SK is caught out, has nowhere to run. He uses a stopwatch just to save his team some time. Zandia almost gets caught, dashing back and forth. Really nothing here that can keep him stuck, as Kalhira already used his battle dance. taking some damage, turning it around on Sandy, and Sandy has nowhere to go now. Dakrick as well, taking so much damage. Flash forward by Gooby, trying to use his ultimate over the wall. Not just enough damage to get Dakrick, but with everyone dead and Dakrick on a sliver of HP, this is a free Baron.
So many resources were used in trying to deny that third Ocean Dragon from Copenhagen Flames. Celestial Gaming, they managed to do so, but they lose the after-coming fight. A big damage here onto Kalhira, but after those resources are gone, don't win the second fight. Baron goes over to Copenhagen Flames as a result, and with the 1-3-1 that they can establish with Nishiri's in the sideline, or if they want to keep in with the main team, as he doesn't have a teleport available to him, he could just keep Eden Fox on the side, or they can just group as 5. Either way, Baron buff, empowered Siege that is on the way will be extremely potent, and the wave clear on the side of Celestial Gaming is questionable at best.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at this power spike right now. You have Gooby almost on 3 items on this Saya. Has been donated so much gold, dealing tons of damage. You have the front line with the tanky Jarvan and the Aatrox that's almost unkillable. Together with, even though that he has died twice, Nihu's Rumble right now on the lane, the Andrew's Torment, Sorcerer's Shoes, about to go with the Void Staff as well. It's going to have so much damage simply scaling on level and magic penetration. Right now, this is a beast team coming in at 22 minutes and gonna get whatever they want. You see Gooby just avoiding that crystalline arrow with his own ultimate. It's gonna get some damage off on this turret while he's waiting for the rest of the team to set up top lane and bot lane.
And you have to ask yourself, did Celestial Gaming draft themselves into a corner? By drafting themselves into a 5 or 4 threat composition with a Morgana support, there is no frontline to be seen. If they snowball with 4 sources of heavy damage, then it's going to be oppressive, absolutely. But fall behind, and you're kind of screwed. They sort of put themselves into this position, and it's very similar to what Copenhagen Flames did in game number 1 here. Because what is the answer from Celestial now? Yes, they can perhaps burst one target, but the front line is very real from Copenhagen Flames. The Aatrox, you got the Jarvan who's going Cinderhulk, and Nishuis with Rumble Shields and a little bit of HP. It's so difficult to burst anyone down. Even Gooby has his Xayah ultimate, the Featherstorm, to self-peel. I don't see any real window in here unless Copenhagen Flames severely mess up.
I mean, look at the team composition from Celestial Gaming and see what they've been trying to do. So they really prioritize to get this Ashe and Morgana safe lane. And they set it up and try again with the Glacial arrow, Enchanted Crystalline's arrow, I mean. And they've been going for this huge just CDR reduction on CD reduction on Ashe. Like they have 40% CD reduction going with the Essence Reaver and the Stinger just to make sure they get it completely. So you have 54 seconds now. Cooldown on your Enchanted Crystal Arrow. But they've not really been using it at all. Like now you see the Ashe start trying to pop off this when it's almost, I would argue, almost too late, right? You have this huge Saya, which is basically the only champion in the game that you will never hit with that arrow. And that's the one that you want to kill. And for the rest of the team, you have a Rumble that has died over and over again. You don't even care. It's got Morella Nomicon just to handle the Vladimir as well. Now coming in, catching Jung. Jung is tanky, though. He will survive this for quite a long time. And here comes Gooby flashing out now. Quickness coming in as well. Kalhira chasing down Dakrick.
Yeah,
like
big
the
fight
has been
coming
disengaged.
in here. Dragon setup is coming in.
Oh, Equalizer!
Arrow.
Gooby, Featherstorm, barely surviving it. Coolberg not really landing everything, but Gooby's still gonna go down to the Hemoplague. That's the final shutdown. They get him, but did it cost too much? Can they still fight it? Celestial Gaming now stacking up around the Dragon. It's up in a couple of seconds.
That's true. Dragon will be the next point of focus. Copenhagen Flames are looking to push into the remaining Celestial Gaming members here. Watch Nishu is on the left side flank. Equalizer is obviously not available, but is chasing away Zandia, who can't seem to compete. And there's flanks coming in from several positions apparently because Kulberg.
Big misplay by Kulberg, has caught up, but oh, just survives it. Nihil's now turning in. There comes the shot to Crystal Arrow yet again, turning this around. Now Eden Fox focusing little Ambivert. Ambivert hiding inside the bush, not going to be enough to survive it. There it comes, the final hit for Eden Fox, and still turning on to the rest of the team. Jackrick doesn't have anything up. Can he survive this? No, he cannot. That's a double kill for Eden Fox, chasing down Sonya. Is going to use Burst straight away, but is it enough? There comes Eski. Lance Stark fighting it. Looks like they're getting away.
What a cleanup from Copenhagen Flames. It's not over yet, though.
No, it's not over at all. Kalhira jumps in. The Black Shield will be able to stop him for a little second. But here's Eski. No Black Shield for himself. And he's going to go down with double kill to Kalhira. Dragon is up. It's the Infernal. The perfect Dragon to round out a perfect ace.
Gorgeously cleaned up and gorgeously chased by the Copenhagen Flames members. There were so many potential flanks coming in from both the top and the west side, but I couldn't quite manage to find it on the side of Celestial Gaming. Kulberg getting caught out there, crucially removing him from the fight. He is an essential member with that ultimate amplifying all damage taken from the enemy team by 10%, so effectively buffing your team's damage. The fact that he goes down so early pretty much forfeits the entire fight, and Eden Fox and Gooby just play cleanup after that. Now there is that Baron setup, and as is the style of Copenhagen Flames, they appropriately ward up the entire area and just turn it red.
So, looking at the build right now for Little Ambivert, we're looking at a Trinity Force build, which is interesting, especially considering that he already has that maxed CDR. So, I'm not quite sure what more CD Direction going to help him with, apart from the, of course, on-hit ability with Trinity Force. We'll scratch that. We're going to talk about that later as there's a fight coming up. He won't play Q's, not going to do much before it times out. Jackrick trying to turn around again on Young, dashing back and forth, playing it really well, but so low on HP. Is going to go down to Kalhira as well. Had nowhere to run, and this means Baron is up next. No jungle on the team of CG.
This is so important. Jackrick crucially falling there after picks from Copenhagen Flames, but Celestial Gaming with the prodding and the poking and the Ash vision, they could potentially try to poke people away, but they just don't have the threat, they don't have the damage, and that's going to be the Baron for Copenhagen Flames, and that's surely going to help them crack the base of Celestial.
Small consolation prize getting the mid lane turret, of course, is going to open up the map a little bit, getting the bot lane turret as well. But that's the Baron in the enemy team hands, so they're not having any problem with a little bit of global gold going back into the hands of Celestial Gaming. Celestial, I really feel like they're trying to play around this Ashe Morgana combination, and they almost haven't even tried to use it, right? Like, we have seen a couple of attempts for them to make it work, and I can't see any other reason why you would want to go a full cooldown reduction build on Ashe together with Morgana, prioritize it, not denying the Rakan from the enemy team, or Rakan combination from the enemy team, and then when you're inside the game, not using it. Like, this is a little bit of a problem, I would say, for Celestial Gaming coming into the rest of this tournament as well, something they need to work on. If you want to go for these kind of crazy team compositions, or not crazy, just unorthodox team compositions, you really gotta go for it all the way, or it's never going to work.
Yes, it is true what you say, but the Ashe was used a little bit earlier on. Also, remember how Jackrick established a pretty hefty CS lead early on. You have to give some of that credit to the Ashe, who can scout for Young early on with those birds that she sends out, the E's that reveal the entire path of that skill shot and then the entire area. There comes the Crystal Arrow.
Yeah, oh, going for it, finally getting that button off, going with it, getting that solo kill in the mid lane, or 1 kill, I mean, in the mid lane. But is it going to be enough? Top lane fight as well. Now it's a 5 versus 4. A lot of enchantments have been used already. Now going for the fight. Quickness is rhyming onto Kulberg. Kulberg goes down before he's able to use the Hemo Plague to his fullest extent. Now chasing it down, getting on the Morgana instead. Eden Fox taking tanking damage, but also having his ult that's going to survive it, no problem at all. Chasing down over the wall, that's E-skill going down. Eden Fox still chasing Lil Amber, but Lil Amber doesn't have the damage that it takes. Flashing away, just barely turning it around, getting the resurrecting off onto the Aatrox, and Eden Fox with the Guardian Angle up as well is unkillable.
It's looking rough now. Celestial Gaming are facing their final stand as the mid inhibitor goes down. This is now an Eden Fox Aatrox and a Gooby Azaya with some actual damage coming in from Kathira also. These Nexus turrets, they don't stand a chance. Sure, a flash in though. Look at Gooby.
The final hurrah right now. Zakaric trying, going golden, surviving for a couple of seconds and going down. That is it. News defending the rest of his team while the focus is on the Nexus. Kulberg moving forward with the Hemo Plague not available. Will not be able to get enough damage off in time. And that is it. That's the game. It's a 2-1 for Copenhagen Flames.
Wowie, Sang coming in with the knowledge and the experience, completely predicting every single stage of Celestial Gaming's behavior in this best of 3 series. You called this from the start. The fact that they would be mad crazy in the first game and just run away with it, and then start doubting stuff in the second game, leading to a reverse sweep coming in from Copenhagen Flames. It's as if you scripted this. Have you been managing Celestial? Is that why you're driving the train?
Celestial, and like, yeah, you gotta throw it in game 2 and 3. You gotta throw it and make me look good on stream. No, but honestly, like, I realize that I might sound a little bit harsh on Celestial Gaming. In like, I'm calling it that they're gonna dominate game 1 and then they're gonna lose anyway, and that sounds really harsh. But here's the thing, right? Like, I challenge anyone to be a bigger fan of Celestial Gaming than I am. Okay, I've been watching these guys for many years now. I so enjoy and love casting their games. But this is my issue with them, and this comes with love, right? I believe in them so badly that I will call it anytime, like, yeah, when they're playing on top, you're gonna see beautiful League of Legends. But here's the issue, that they can't keep it up. If they could keep it up, I would believe in them all the way, right? All the way to that final spot, taking it all home. And that's the Celestial Gaming that I want to see. That's why I'm so fiery when I talk about them like this. But let's be clear here, I'm not flaming them. I love Celestial Gaming, but yeah, it's a real bummer for me that they couldn't take it all the way. And in the end, the Copenhagen Flames, wow, just playing like mad lads, being absolutely meticulous in their play style and completely dominating Celestial Gaming in game 3.
Leave the flaming for the Copenhagen Flames, because they did manage to turn it around and secure this reverse sweep, and you have to give credit to them where credit is due. They played to their win conditions. They managed to play into the tendencies of Celestial also, successfully and professionally scouting and reading this team seemingly like a book, and they drew them out. They repeatedly found these objectives via both abusing that fact and great vision control, and just raw individual skill here. Snowballing numbers are left, right, and center with a straight up more balanced composition than Celestial. Celestial obviously opting in for the more volatile ones. I mean, I had a lot. You have to argue also how much of the game 1 was due to Copenhagen Flames' experimental first showing here. I feel like
absolutely. I agree with you. Like, you can't really say that much about Celestial Gaming's game 1 when they were playing versus the Irelia, Sejuani bot lane. Where was it? The Aatrox top lane. No, it was and Vladimir mid lane into the Renekton and Rek'Sai jungle, right?
yes, Rek'Sai jungle on the side of Blood, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the team composition. That's not an ordinary team composition, so we got to give that to him as well. But I still don't want to take away anything from Celestial Gaming's first victory and the way they played it. But yeah, definitely gonna give it to Copenhagen Flames. When they pull out the stops, they look quite unbreakable, and it's a strong force coming out from Denmark this year.
For sure. After 6 games today, that leaves Ventus Esports 2-1 over the Final Tribe. Danish first seed taken out the Swedish number one representative also, with Celestial Gaming falling at the hands of Copenhagen Flames. Sang, we're not going to see you as much, are we?
No, this was the game that I was the day that I was casting right now, and you're going to hear your beautiful voice for most of this tournament together with Troublelink as well. But I might be back. You never know, right? So I might be back, and I really enjoyed working with you.
Yeah, you too, my man. Sang's like a phantom. You never know when he's gonna show up at all.
That's
But
that's
I mean,
that's how fountains work.
no, a phantom, not a fountain.
A phantom. Oh, I was like a
Yeah,
fountain. You
a
never know. I'm
fountain.
like
Sang is like a
I'm fairly.
fountain. That sounds very like a very questionable statement to be making on a broadcast. But yes. All right. So I'll be joined by Troublelink for future broadcasts. We say goodbye to Sang for now. And that's going to be it from the Monster Energy DreamHack studio broadcast of the Nordic Championship 2019 summer season. I'll see you on Thursday together with Troublelink. Same time, same place, same face. I'll see you guys then.